We feature a woman in the construction industry. Even though the growth of the industry has been pedestrian since 2009, this has not stopped Shoki Matsi from wearing a hard hat in pursuit of success. Her story is edited by Mangoba Nkosi. Having grown in an entrepreneurial family, it is no wonder that Shoki Matsi had no trouble venturing out on her own when the time came. But instead of following her mother's footsteps of fashion, she chose to go into construction.
I was raised by a very strong, independent businesswoman. She was a businesswoman in her own right. She had a boutique for women where she sold exclusive women's wear. And so that's where I started working behind the till. Way back when I was still in primary school, so I worked behind the tills, I packed the shelves. So that's where my love for business began.
Experts forecast that South Africa's construction industry will contract by 14.3% this year. Although this is a bleak outlook, Matsi is not deterred.
The industry has been tough. You have major corporations, major construction companies letting go of the construction aspect of their businesses because it has been doing so badly. But as a small company, we've been trying to hang on to the little bits of what is left of the construction industry. But also COVID-19, when that happened, because we're not in essential service, we had to stay home. But we've been blessed in that we have work waiting for us.
Construction is predominantly a male-dominated industry. Matsi is one of the growing number of women who are changing the face of the industry. And although earning one's stripes here is more challenging, she says perseverance ultimately pays off.
It's a male-dominated industry, as we all know. You will be undermined, you will be challenged. Your subordinates sometimes will look at you and not really want to do what you're telling them to do. But it's important to have vision, it's important to be confident in your abilities and to stand your ground and to cement where you are. And people will respect you for that, whether you're a woman or a man. So it does not really matter which industry you're in, whether it's a male-dominated industry or not, as long as you have the confidence, you're confident in your abilities and you have a vision.
With only a few months left of 2020, Matsi's focus is now to ensure that she has enough projects to add to the nearly 20 that she has already completed and to support her 14 employees so that they can support their own families. Liabo Setho, SABC News, Johannesburg. Thank you so much to Shoki Matsi for sharing her story with us. As always, remember that we are on Facebook at SME on Point, and also we are on a YouTube channel under SABC News digital platform. So most of us do have side hustles that help with extra income. Some even grow into fully fledged businesses. Earlier this month, Nic Haralambous launched a side hustle masterclass, which among others will teach you the skills you need to start a side hustle and practical steps to building a side hustle. Let's check to Nic now to find out what exactly is entailed in this masterclass. Nic, thank you so much for joining us on SME on Point. Tell us more about the masterclass. What can people expect from it? I mean, the art of a side hustle is one that's growing exponentially now, with most of us wanting extra income. And some, as I said, do grow into fully fledged businesses.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. So I've spent the last 20 years building side hustles and startups, and I've taken that experience and compressed it into a variety of things that help people build the lives that they need to start the side hustles that they want. And the masterclass is the latest iteration of that. It's a 2-session course. The first session deals with your life, your mind, your relationships, and getting everything that you do ready to have a side hustle. The second session deals with finding an idea, launching a website, and all the practical tips that I've learned over 20 years to help you take that idea you've had in your head and launch it into the wild and start generating some income so you can be financially stable.
Let's take a look at some of the viewers' questions that they've sent to us. I did ask them to get questions to you because I did preview to say that we'd be speaking to you. Let's take a look at what 2 viewers have had to say, and perhaps you can help them with their side hustle questions.
Hello, my name is Amanda Kabanyane, the founder and the CEO of Amanda K Empowerment Foundation. So my foundation, what it does, it empowers girls on how to be confident leaders inside and outside with a strong focus of female mentorship and guidance to help them grow and blossom. So my question is, I'm struggling to get sponsorship. Can you kindly assist me on which methods I can put in place as far as seeking financial assistance is concerned?
Hi, my name is Elton. I'm the founder and CEO of Smart Solutions SA. We are a company that does marketing, branding. We do design and web design as well. We got both local and international clients. But during COVID, we have lost all those clients. And my question is, how do we bounce back and how do we do it quickly?
Nic, two very different businesses. However, there's one common thread, the issue of scaling and the issue of finance. How can you advise our two viewers?
Yeah, I mean, I deal with this, both of these questions frequently on my website, nharry.com, where we deal with these issues. So the first question and the second question tied together quite nicely with the concept of relationships. Businesses live and die on relationships. If you're trying to raise funding, it's easier to raise funding when the relationships you have with the investors or the fund managers is a good one. So the same thing applies with sales. Selling is about relationships. It's about finding what people need and then providing the service that fills that hole for them. So unfortunately, the quick idea, there is no quick solution. Yeah. What I can say is most people think they're doing enough when it comes to sales, but likely they're not. If you're making 5 phone calls a day, you need to make 15. Selling is a mathematical equation. If you make 100 calls in a week, the likelihood that 10% of them will convert is very good. But if you only make 9 calls, 10% is not a full conversion. So the idea here is just push a little bit harder, do a little bit more every single day than you think you need to do. And ultimately, you will win out if you survive. And that's the key thing. If you continue on, your competitors will whittle away and you'll be left standing. So just keep selling.
Oh, and just lastly, Nic, while I still have you, one of the most important things about the side hustle is the issue of prioritizing time. How does one, prioritize time, especially if you're still employed, while still running a side hustle? You still want to sleep at the end of the day.
Absolutely. This is a big thing that I cover in the masterclass. We make the mistake of putting ourselves at the bottom of our priority list. We need to put ourselves at the top of the priority list and only allocate the amount of time you can afford to your side hustle. If that's 1 hour a week, then just do that every single week for the whole year, and eventually you will build something of value. But we put pressure on ourselves to make it as quick as we can, and that's not necessary. Just lift the anxiety from yourself. Do what you can do. Yeah.
Nic, thank you so much for joining us on SME On Point. I hope that a lot of people will sign up to the Side Hustle Masterclass and get some tips or two about how to start and maintain that side hustle. And that is all from SME On Point for this week. Do join us again next week. But Tesh is coming up next with Books on Point.